good, people of YouTube? What's going on? Back with another weekly project update, and look, we've got a Duramax with cylinder heads. A lot of you are thinking, well, wow, genius, you're really good at this, in probably the most sarcastic tone that you have at your disposal, and I'm right there with you. We should have been here weeks ago, if not a couple of months ago, but nonetheless, we're finally here. And if I'm hard to hear, I'm sorry. I've got the giant portico running because it's been 100 and Jesus around here for the past couple of days. And yes, this is Sunday. I've been here all weekend in Eric's glorious shop, and while I do love this place, since it's not insulated yet, which I don't hold against him, you can take the outside air temperature and just add 10 to 15 degrees to it. That's about what it is in here. So again, if I'm hard to hear, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to stay alive. But yes, we have an 04 Duramax LLY with cylinder heads. They're not torqued. All the studs are in place, which, fun fact, in case you didn't know, there's 18 per side. They take forever to put in. They take forever to take back out. How do I know that? Well, it's funny you ask. You see, there's this guy. I know him pretty well, and he doesn't always get it right. In true to form CNG performance fashion, we have to go backwards to go forwards. What do I mean? Well, yesterday, we had the driver's side cylinder head on. Had the studs in it, had the washers on, had the nuts on, hadn't torqued it yet, but we were exactly where you see it, except for one minor setback. I don't know if I can show you this or not, because it's kind of hidden in Narnia, but I'll try. Do you see the Muffin Man? No, I'm just kidding. Do you see that pipe that comes up from the back of the cylinder head? Has a little accordion shape to it? That is what's known as an up pipe. It brings exhaust gases up from the exhaust manifold to the turbo. Another fun fact, unless you know something I don't, there is no way to get that up pipe installed with the cylinder head in place. It cannot happen, it will not happen. There's just not enough room. Because these engines have kind of the same cylinder offset as a small block Ford, whereas number one is on the passenger side, it's the furthest forward. That means all the cylinders on this bank are set back towards the firewall. Coincidentally, this is also the driver's side. What does that mean? All the space for, you know, the throttle pedal, the brake pedal in the driver's side. And I know what you're thinking, well, Gary, what about the transmission dipstick tube? Was that in the way? No, it wasn't. We took that off, which is part of the reason why this update is coming at you so late in the evening. Eric and I have spent the last 4.5 to 5 hours fighting with that dipstick tube because there's one way it can go in and one way it comes out. And yes, I know it's on the wrong side of the truck. We've covered that in a previous update, and we've covered that in a previous full length back when we did the Easy Yard Delete on this thing. So yeah, you've got 9 items that all have to fit in the same space at the same time, and they don't want to. So we took the head back off, got the up pipe installed, put the head back on. Then we had to take the turbo back off because some idiot on the other side of this camera forgot there's a heat shield that sits down in the valley. You probably can't see it because of my shop rigs right now, but it's there. So of course we had to take the turbo back off. I say we, I mean me. Put the heat shield back in place, put the turbo back on, tighten down all the fittings and lines again, started some of the bolts for the up pipe coming off the driver's side. I got all 3 started on the back of the turbo for the driver's side. I got 2 started down there on the exhaust manifold log. I'll do the 3rd one next weekend or something. And then we finished off the evening by going ahead and setting down the passenger side cylinder head. We had to put the exhaust manifold on separate because of this fantastic oil dipstick that goes right between the exhaust manifold and cylinder head. But same story, all 18 studs are installed, washers are on, nuts are just kind of there, to include these 4 teeny tiny little bolts that go at the very top. There's 4 on the other side, and while I don't understand their purpose, because they're so small, I mean, the torque rating is barely anything. I think it's like 25 foot-pounds. So we are where we should have been probably 2 months ago. But just through the graces of who I am and the other things I get wrapped up in, it's, gosh, it's almost August now, and we're just now getting the heads on this thing. We pulled this thing in here in, what, February? Yeah, we're doing good. I just got a text from nephew a little bit ago. He's already gotten all the Lexan windows out of the race car that we dropped off at his place last weekend, and he started sanding on the body. He's got some of the decals off the rear quarters. I think he's got most of them off the trunk lid, so he's doing killer work over there on that thing. I didn't expect him to really commit that much time to his, you know, to my project when he's got his own. Which, speaking of his project, his Ram Charger, I think we had a fuel pump die on us. And to be fair, that's a fuel pump I think we had on Cassandra's car way back when it was still a 318 car and we were living in Arkansas. So chances are the diaphragm in that thing had a crack in it or something and finally quit on us. It'd been a good soldier up till then. It was a good Holly pump and it worked really well, but I don't know, I guess one Texas summer back in action, couldn't take it. The brown car hasn't really been touched because I've been really focused on this. I need to get this wrapped up and finished, and this was a huge step. So I'm tired. It's been 2 very long hot days in this shop, and Eric and I are both pretty much whooped. So with that all said, thank you guys so much for your patience. Thank you guys for watching us, and thank you for subscribing if you have. If you haven't, it's right there. Just smash that button for us real quick one time, and we'd greatly appreciate it. As always, thanks for keeping up with us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.